looking back, all the people you've lost, like you were in some serious battles. As you look back at those 21 years, would you go back and do those again?
Unequivocally, yes. My only regret is I have one life to give to my country.
I absolutely would. I wouldn't change anything because I found myself thinking about it. Man, would I have done the 18 X-ray program if I had found out about it initially? But then I wouldn't have those experiences at the very beginning that kind of shaped my mindset as far as death and how to deal with it, right? Because having experienced that at the very beginning kind of shaped the rest of my career. So no, I actually wouldn't change anything.
Absolutely. Wouldn't even blink. Wouldn't even blink. Send me in, Coach.
I would absolutely do it again. I feel, honestly, Ryan, there's not a man on earth that I envy. There is no civilian counterpart to what you and I have done. There's no civilian. And the people we've met, the people that I've seen you interview I did it for 28 years. When it was coming to an end, one of my buddies said, I got some bad news for you, Jet. Not everybody's in the military. And he meant when you get on the outside, it's a different world. And I went to work for American Airlines, and it was surprisingly different. It's a different world, and I miss it terribly. I miss part of being a part of that. And so absolutely would do it again.
Oh, absolutely. My one big regret is that I don't get to do it all again. I wish there were a way to do that. There's more things I'd like to do, and maybe some things I would do differently, but I don't have any regrets in terms of, I've had a blessed life and serving my country, but, I often ask myself, gee, should I have really gotten out of the CIA when I did? I thought I was done with this, and this, and then it all came back after 9/11 and turned out all right for me. But I wouldn't have traded it for anything.
I would do it all over again. I would make most of the decisions the same, And it's interesting because you know why they pay you in this job to make decisions. And you better be right 98% of the time. Yeah. In my case, I feel that 98% of the time, I made the right call, even though it was a controversial call. And at the time, it was not looked as a good call, okay? But, I have no regrets whatsoever. I cherish my time at the agency and my colleagues there. It is special. It is special, very special. So, loved it. Loved it.
Yeah. The only thing I would trade the experience I had, some of the things I've learned in combat for the lives of the guys that were lost in the course of those events. If you find your way into the military, even if you don't know what you're getting into the first time, because none of us really know what we're getting into. Combat's like sex. Before you have it, you think it's one thing, and then you experience it, and it's something different. So there's a lot of opportunity in the military, man. And for me, I feel very fortunate. I got to fly helicopters. I've flown F-15s. I've learned a lot of hard lessons. You take lives. I've saved lives. I've helped make people's lives better. And I've had a lot of experiences, and the military can do that. You have to throw everything you got at it. All that becomes is a lesson for life.
Part of me would have liked to have taken a much more direct route, to get in. But then I don't know if I would have had the same experiences that I had doing that. And I think that the experiences that I had were helpful. And I learned stuff along the way that I would never give up. And I think that that's part of the journey. So I would do it, exactly how I did it over again. I would have no problem doing that. It'd be very painful to do it over again, but I would do it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's part of life. Has been part of society from the beginning of time up to this day. And it's it's part of that journey. When you can lock yourself away and not stand up to serve or defend your nation, not go out and provide, let's say as a hunter, provide food and sustenance for your family, for your tribe, for your society. But there needs to be those people that stand on the wall and that train up to be ready for when that fight comes. So it's just I'm naturally wired for that. So there was really never even a question about it. So yeah, it's I definitely go back, and I mean, it's just natural. There's no other path. If you're a warrior and you're hearing that calling, it's you answer the answers. That's all I did was answer the call.
I would absolutely do it all again. I would probably do some things different, but mostly not. I wouldn't, because I'm a culmination of the decisions that I have made through my life. And so all of that being said, I have to give every wife and child and family member of a member of the armed forces a great thank you for their service. People say that to me all the time. Thank you for your service. I did it because I wanted to. Lisa, Wyatt, and Nick were home, and the worry that they carried with them day in and day out during those 5 combat deployments, during the air shows and the training are significant. And it is a tremendous burden, and it's hard. And so when people say thank you for your service, I want to honestly and genuinely thank every military member's family members, because they serve. And I think sometimes it's overlooked, but what they give to our country in support is unbelievable.
But I'd sign up again right now, man. I do it all. I would absolutely do it all again. One of my brothers, Slider, who's in our No Fallen Heroes project, he did the medicine. So, quick story. So Slider, Tomcat guy, hey man, bad guy house, cleared hot. You sure it's bad guy house? Yeah, bad guy house, blow it up. Boom, 12 innocent Iraqis in there, 3 generations, gone. And that destroyed him. He got back, drugs, alcohol, suicide attempts, and stuff like that. And he did the medicine with us last January with the documentary. Completely different human being. I bring him up because when I talked to him one time, he looked at me, he said, "Wiz, I'm thankful for the suffering." And you've truly healed when you say that. Had I not, I miss Swede. Canine. All of their deaths had purpose. I'm sitting here on this podcast right now talking to you about it. My sister Monica's death was not in vain. And it's really interesting. So they tell you, like we talked about, I treat this like a combat mission, going to do the medicine. So the first time, they said, have 5 questions for the medicine, right? That you can fall back on, and then 5 intentions. What do you want to, get? And man, and I'm not going to say it was towards the end, but kind of after this incredible experience with God for 14, it felt like forever, obviously, but for however long it was, I had answers to everything. I saw my future. I saw everything, right? Except this. I said, whoa, wait, before I go, God, why Monica? Why so young? Why? And God just kind of looked at me and said, I know why. And that was it. It was I know, and you have to trust me. And that healed me. So even that suffering, losing my sister, I take solace in the fact that Source kind of embraced me and said, I know, son, I know. And that's always stuck with me. So there's still a little whiz in here, so to speak, with ego. I still get, every once in a while, wish I could hug my dad. But the second time I did the medicine in the middle of the night at 3:00 in the morning, when I sat up and I was crying, my father hugged me. I felt an actual hug. and I heard my father say he was proud of me. Yeah. So I am thankful for the suffering, because I know now, after seeing what I've experienced, that it's all good. This tiny dot in time that you and I are on this big blue marble, in my opinion, and some people don't really like this, but I'll share it anyway. This is hell. This is hell. War, hate, disease, poverty. In my opinion, this is hell. And if we can do whatever we can to minimize this hell, this poverty, this war, this hate that's raging, we can make a little bit more heaven on earth, in my opinion. But yeah, so I do it all again, including the suffering.